Okay, so today is Tuesday, 30th September 2025, 11 a.m., 32 degrees centigrade, which is about 90 Fahrenheit, and it's going to get hotter as the day goes on. So, even at the end of September, in my subtropical climate, summer high temperatures will still continue maybe until it gets closer to November. Now, I haven't made a video for some weeks because in this hot weather I don't want to spend too much time outdoors and nothing much is happening anyway. The MEDAKA are quite lethargic, they're not eating much and they're not laying eggs, so not much to report on really. But anyway, it brings me to today's topic, that the growth rate of MEDAKA slows right down at high temperatures. Now this might be a bit long-winded, I might finish up, we've got lots to say, so it might be a bit boring, but around here the other day there was a small baby cobra, so that might make things a bit more exciting if it happens to turn up again in the next half an hour or so. Okay, so sitting in the shade, as you can see there are a few star fruit falling off the tree. These tubs are under a tree, get the shade from a star fruit tree, and they're all falling off at the moment. Nobody really eats them, the fruit flies get them, but there we are. I don't think they particularly taste fantastic anyway. Now, MEDAKA are very tough, as everybody knows. They can survive a wide range of temperatures, but I emphasize survive. The actual optimum conditions for getting good growth and good development are in a relatively narrow range of temperatures. So looking at maybe in terms of temperature, what is optimal, what is tolerable, what is survivable for growth. And the optimum growth temperature is, so they say, 20 degrees centigrade to 26 degrees centigrade. In this range, metabolism functions very efficiently. They digest food well. They got high energy for activity, but they can dedicate maximum resources to growth and reproduction. So, ideal conditions for growth, digestion, reproduction, and immune function. So that's optimal. Tolerable is say 27 to 30 degrees centigrade. Growth is still okay, but the metabolism is starting to become less efficient. They're having to manage to cope with a bit high temperatures out of their optimum range, so growth slows down a bit. So I just waited for a plane to go overhead. I normally don't notice them, but I know the microphone picks up the noise very easily. So it's optimum, tolerable and survivable temperatures. Let's say 31 to 35 degrees centigrade. It's survivable, but growth rate slows significantly. This is due to increased metabolic stress and having lower oxygen waters lower oxygen content in the very warm water, which can be debilitating for them. Then we also, let's go to a danger zone. Where are they? They're hiding down, so we won't see those very much. Go back to this one. Danger zone over 35 degrees. Now they can survive up to 40 degrees centigrade for short periods, but this is highly stressful for them. There's a very high risk of lethargy, oxygen deprivation, disease, and death. So if we look at the why growth can slow significantly above 30 degrees centigrade, a bit more detail. Now, metabolic stress. So warmer water initially speeds up metabolism, but there's an upper limit. Beyond 30 degrees centigrade, the metabolic system begins to become very stressed and inefficient. The fish are burning more energy just to maintain basic bodily functions and to cope with the heat. So if you like, there's a larger portion of energy being used just for staying alive, which means there's less energy available to be converted into new tissue. And if they don't get this new tissue, then obviously it means there's a slower growth rate. Now, part of this metabolic stress is also due to a very critical factor, which is that very warm water holds significantly less dissolved oxygen than cool water. As the temperature of the water gets above 30 degrees centigrade, the oxygen level drops. MEDAKA, they've got this speeded up metabolism and less available oxygen, and that means they get lethargic, spend their energy on respiration rather than on growth. And one of the other factors is that high temperatures have decreased appetite. Fish often eat less, so again reduced food intake directly leads to reduced growth rate. And with all this, you've got increased potential for health issues. High temperatures can weaken immune systems, making them more susceptible to diseases like bacterial infections or parasites, and those debilitating conditions further hinder growth. So I usually go away for a long vacation in the summer for several weeks, get away from the hot weather, go somewhere cooler. But this year I stayed at home, which means I could actually observe this sort of effect of how high temperatures affect MEDAKA's growth rate. And I've been surprised, really, I suppose, how significant it is. Even though I try to mitigate reduced oxygen levels at high temperatures by using aeration in all the tubs, still the growth rate is almost comes to a standstill to some extent. So I'll try and illustrate this if you like. So what I got here are 3 bits of floating plastic. Now marked on there the length that MEDAKA should achieve after 2 months, 2 months after hatching, 3 months after hatching, and 4 months after hatching in optimum conditions. So this is the sort of length they should achieve in optimum conditions. So if I go and put these in the water, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Now, all the fish in here are 4 months old or more. Now you can see there are some fully developed adults there. All the small fish should already be in optimum conditions, would have been fully developed adults. Now the ones that do look like adults, they may be hatched early in the spring, so they had 4 months of cool weather or below 26 degrees to grow. Most of the others weren't hatched until maybe late May, the small ones. So they are now 4 months old. They've gone through like June, July, August, September of hot weather, and you can see their growth rate. Some of them maybe have got to, if you like, 3 months length. There's a 3 month one, but a lot of them still only what you would expect to get in optimum conditions for a 2 month growth rate. And there they are. As I say, all the fish in here are at least 4 months old. Some of them have been so stunted in growth during the hot weather, they're no longer they're not any longer than about a 2 month old fish, which has been growing in and being raised in cooler conditions. And that really is quite a surprising thing to me. I didn't really recognise, because I go away for 5-6 weeks, I come back and really feel like start all over again. So that's the way it is. And I mean, if I look at another tub, I'll go and move to another tub. So looking at this one, as I say again, all the fish in this tub are, say, at least 4 months old, and you can see the fully grown adults there, which were hatched earlier in the spring. They've now reached, like, if you like, the 4 month growth rate as shown on that floating bit of plastic. But the others, the smaller ones, maybe hatched sometime in May, early May, late May. Some of them have maybe reached a 3 month length, when they should in fact be a 4 month length in cooler conditions. And some are really stunted even more. They've only maybe reached the 2 months growth. So it's not just one strain of my MEDAKA that affected by this. It is all of the strains. And the same thing here in this tub. Fish are all 4 months old, so they should all have reached this 4 month growth rate if they're in cool conditions. Some of them have, because they were hatched earlier in spring. The others, like in the other tubs, have been stunted a lot. Some of them maybe have got to the 3 month growth rate. Others are still stuck, only half the size that they should be. So there we are. Now I think as we get towards November, the weather cools down, and they should start to put on growth again. This is what seems to happen. So hopefully, as I say, by the time we get to November, they will have improved, become more healthy, and they will start to produce eggs. Yeah, just see what happens. Well, sorry, no excitement with baby cobras. I got my big boots on, just to stamp on them if they come around, but they haven't come out yet. Okay.